Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Words from Our Community video series as part of the Asian Week Database Project. I'm your host, Wynn Stanton. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Maeley Tom. Maeley, could you elaborate on your title?
Asian Week at one time described me as probably the most influential non-elected Asian political force in California. So I have that title thanks to Asian Week. Some call me godmother of Asian politics. I have the title of my breaking glass ceilings in the Capitol, where I was the former chief administrative officer under Assembly Speaker Willie Brown.
All right, well, let's get to our next question for you, Maeley, which is tell us about your relationship with Asian Week.
Our relationship actually goes back about, I would say, over 50 years. When I was at the Capitol and when I was becoming very active with the Asian community, Asian Week at that time, I felt was the most formidable Asian bilingual language paper that existed. And I felt I always use Asian Week as my source of reference if I wanted to keep up with Asian issues. So early on, I formed a relationship with the founder, John Fang, who was like a mentor to me because he was so excited to see an Asian in the state capitol during a period where Asian Americans were invisible in politics. And we formed a real collegial bond that mutually benefited each of us. First of all, I became a source of political information to John Fang, and he in turn became my source of issues that was happening in the community. So we really formed a partnership that I think benefits the Asian community. Asian Week just became so meaningful in my life to the point that they eventually asked me to serve as a journalist and as a columnist for the paper. I wrote a column for Asian Week for over 10 years, and the column was named Capitol Watch. And it really formed information source of what was happening in politics through my column, Asian Week. And I think it was quite well received. We continue to help one another become an important source of information to the Asian community, to the point that Asian Week was seen as a source of information nationally with regards to politics. So it was a very mutual beneficial relationship.
Oh, wow. So going so far back with Asian Week, you've got to have so many stories that you can tell us. How about giving us some memorable ones, moments or stories that you have from Asian Week?
I think I was able to help break some stories through Asian Week. One had to do with the Immigration Reform Act when Kennedy and Simpson were trying to take away the family reunification legislation. We took a group to Washington, D.C., and we had Asian Week actually following this group of activists who were going to battle this family reunification language. And so Asian Week became almost a diary of how we were able to do that. Then, personally speaking, I was involved with a headline story with regards to the campaign finance scandal under Clinton, where Asians were accused of funneling illegal contributions to the DNC and to the president as a source of being agents of China trying to influence foreign policy. And my personal story with Asian Week was that Asian Week, out of respect to me and out of our friendship, did not print one word of that story. Out of respect to me, Asian Week did not repeat the story. And I'm still very emotionally grateful to the family for being so protective of me, because they knew that what I was suffering was, excuse me, was guilt by association. and they simply would not reprint the story.
Oh, I'm tearing up. I'm so emotional. Gosh,
Mhm.
that you shared that. Oh, wow. What I also feel is your gratitude
Yes,
for that. And I think that's what I'm touched by is that meant so much to you. And Asian Week put aside kind of the scope of what they do, right? Because they're, a publisher, right? News, media. Set that aside and put the person and the relationship in front of the job.
yes,
That
that was the kind of family and newspaper Asian Week was, because they could have made so much money having such a personal relationship with me. Instead, they put our friendship and they put loyal to me before, before anything else. And yes, I am
oh,
still very grateful to the family.
oh, Maeley, thank you so much. And thank you for opening up and sharing all this with us. I appreciate your time so much. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining the Words from Our Community video series as part of the Asian Week Database Project. Have a great day.